Hello and welcome back to NG Drums. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to talk about stick control and hand technique. This is a very vital part of our playing. It's going to allow us to play the difficult fill that we're trying so desperately to achieve, and it's also going to allow us to play for a lot longer with a lot less fatigue and also trying to avoid injury. So the main thing that we need to think about is our grip to begin with. And once we take our stick in front of us, I want you to find the balance point. Now the balance point of the stick is usually just behind the middle point. You can really define this by holding the stick between your thumb and your index finger, holding it out in front of you, and notice if it balances. If I move my hand all the way to the bottom, you'll see that the stick will fall forward. And if I put my fingers all the way to the front of the stick, it will bend backwards. So you need to find that balance point that is just behind the middle point of the stick. Once we've found that balance point, I want you to use your thumb and the inner first knuckle of your index finger to pinch the stick. These are the two fingers that operate the drumstick and ultimately hold it. We don't want a firm grip around the stick, we just want these two fingers. Now these remaining three do gracefully wrap around the stick. They don't tightly hold it, they just gracefully cradle the stick. Now later on in another lesson we will talk about control using these three fingers, but for now we're just going to wrap them around. We're going to do exactly the same thing with our left stick. Balance point, pinch, three fingers around the stick. Once we've got this, we're going to aim the tips of our sticks for the center of the drum, in this case the drum pad, and the tops of our hands are going to be facing the ceiling. Now that we've assumed this position, we are going to start using the correct hand technique, and that is by playing with your wrists. You heard me right. It's your wrists. Now we may see all these big rock star drummers playing like this, big overhead movements. But that's not what we want to do at this point. We want to learn how to utilize our wrists and not our shoulders. If we are playing with our shoulders, we don't have as much control as we think that we do. So once we've got our position, tips, center of the drum, tops of our hands are facing the ceiling, we're then going to roll our wrist back and forward for a strike. Roll our wrist back and forward for a strike. Let me know how you get on with your own practicing, and remember, it's always a great day to be drumming.